Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Astronaut and it is so good to see everyone. I'm glad you clicked on this video and you decided to hang out with me for a little bit here. I am gonna go over some brand new Mega Man 11 news for you guys, and the wait is over finally. I did another video about Mega Man 11 a few weeks ago, but now there's been a little more information released about the upcoming title, which is set for a 2018 release date. Now before I get into the video, if you're new to the channel, please make sure you smash that subscribe button, click the like button, and say hello through the comment section below. That's right, I want to hear from you guys. And also the video that I uploaded right before this one is actually a video that I called my very first YouTube paycheck, and that video is all about me discussing how much I made for my first YouTube paycheck. And I also go over some very helpful and resourceful information for anyone who is wanting to start their own channel or get started uploading videos and monetizing their account and trying to figure out their way around the whole YouTube system. If you do have some questions or concerns about that, or how to get your first paycheck on YouTube, please make sure you click on that video and check it out. Alright everyone, I hope y'all are ready for some fresh Mega Man 11 news. I know I am, which is why I am covering this topic in a video. Okay, the name of the article that I'm going to read for you guys today is called Everything We Know About Mega Man 11's Robot Masters. So this is an article from Game Informer, and of course everyone knows that Game Informer is highly reliable. But this game is not coming out until 2018, so of course there's not a lot of information available just yet, especially about the Robot Masters. So far we only know of two. They've mentioned two so far as their abilities and whatnot, and there's only one that they've actually revealed a picture for. So other than that, we're kind of in the dark. But this article, I chose this article because it did a really good job at compiling everything that is known so far and put it all in one place, so you can just read this article and kind of get a little caught up on what's happening with Mega Man 11. So I'm going to go ahead and read the article now, guys. If you have any comment or any feedback or whatever, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Maybe we can get a conversation going or whatnot. Alright, so the article goes, over the course of Mega Man's 30-year history, the adorable blue robot has worked his way through more than 130 evil robots. You might think Capcom was starting to run out of ideas. After all, the last Mega Man game included a character called Sheep Man after all, but Mega Man 11's Robot Masters are as inventive as ever. Unfortunately, Capcom is being tight-lipped about these new bots, so we've scrapped together every little detail we could collect related to Mega Man's stylish new foes. Like usual, Mega Man 11 will feature 8 Robot Masters, and you will be able to choose the order that you tackle each boss from the start of the game. Discerning the link between a Robot Master and their weaknesses will make more sense. Quote unquote, I think it's important to bring back the intuitive nature of the relationship between the Robot Masters and their weapons, says Tushia. If you look at some of the earlier titles, the relationship was a little easier to understand. For example, if there was a Robot Master that was focused on ice, it was very obvious that you had to use a fire-based weapon to defeat them. As the series went along, it became a little more difficult to figure out, both from an R&D and from a consumer standpoint. For example, it's like, okay, you have a centaur, a knight, and a samurai. Who's strong or weak against what? Very good question. Switching between Robot Master weapons is easier than ever. All of Mega Man 11's weapons are attached to a direction on the right analog stick, kind of like an invisible weapon wheel, which makes swapping to your favorite weapon much quicker. This might also allow players to string together Robot Master attacks like combos. We know about 2 Robot Master attacks so far. The first Robot Master attack comes from the Robot Master pictured above. Of course, you guys aren't physically reading this, so you can't see the picture, but just go along with me. This attack allows Mega Man to create blocks that fall out of the sky, which is useful for hitting enemies when they least expect it. The second is a powerful physical attack that transforms Mega Man's fist into a massive jackhammer spike, which can also be used as a mid-air dash attack during platforming sequences. Now, just to take a quick break from the article, guys, if y'all want to see that Robot Master, just scroll back in the video just a little bit. I did include a photo of him in the montage within the photos of the video. He's the one with the gray bricks on the top of his head, and he also, I believe, has gray bricks that are kind of covering the front of him, and his color is kind of like a greenish blue color with white. So if you scroll back, you should see a picture of him in the video. Okay, back to the article. Designing Robot Masters is harder than you think, quote unquote. From the distance, it might look like a very fun thing to work on, but when you actually dig deeper, it's really difficult to figure out what really jives with each other, says Mega Man 11 director Koji Oda. You might create a certain element for a Robot Master, but then you end up realizing that it's difficult to design what the Robot Master will look like, it might be difficult to envision what the stage would look like, making sure it doesn't mimic the style of a previous Robot Master. There's a lot of different factors that, unless you start working on it, you don't realize. We've come up with hundreds and hundreds of Robot Masters with different concepts. It's really boiling it down to what not only works individually, but how it pairs together. The Robot Masters in Mega Man 11 were originally created by Dr. Light. Quote unquote, we went back to the original concept where the Robot Masters were created by Dr. Light, kidnapped by Dr. Wily, and modified for evil purposes, says Mega Man 11 producer Kazuhiro Toshiya. For Mega Man 11, we went back to that original premise. I think with every Mega Man game, it's all about Dr. Wily doing something devious, but we wanted to go back to the original plot where Mega Man is fighting against former allies. We thought that was just inherently more interesting and added a little more depth. The robots were designed to include a mix of comical, mysterious, and serious designs. Quote unquote, when I looked at the enemies for Mega Man 7 and onward, I felt like they had more color variety, but the individual personalities of each enemy was lessened because of that. I cut back on the number of colors for the enemies so that you can really see the distinction between each enemy. I don't want players to be sad when they defeat enemies. I kind of envision it as if they're all having fun on the playground. We now know how big all of the Robot Masters are going to be. During the live stream for the Mega Man 11 reveal, Japan got some extra footage which showed Mega Man 11's start screen. In that footage, you can see all of the Robot Masters' silhouettes. The theme of each stage will better match up with each Robot Master. The Robot Master, who was originally called Brickman, has a level that looks like an Egyptian desert, complete with a pyramid that is designed to look like the Robot Master. Most stages will allude to the boss at the end of the level in some way. There will be no female Robot Master in Mega Man 11. Quote unquote, there actually was a female Robot Master at the concept stage, but when we paired up all the different weapons, she was one of the Robot Masters that didn't quite make the cut, said Oda. We definitely feel like there are plenty of opportunities to add a female Robot Master in the future. This is one of those things where we feel like it's all about what fits best for each occasion, and there are definitely occasions where a female would be more appropriate than a male. The studio finds inspiration for Robot Masters in real life. One of Mega Man 11's Robot Masters features a construction theme, and the team came up with this design because there was a lot of construction happening around the studio at that time. Alright everyone, that pretty much concludes that article. I hope you guys were able to take away some really good insight from it. It was a fairly long article and it had a lot of good stuff in it, but that's really why I read it, because it really was a good resource for that. So if you weren't aware of what's going on with Mega Man 11, then you certainly are caught up now. Now before I end the video, I wanted to bring up one last issue, which was to do a brief comparison between Mega Man 11 and Mighty Number 9. And for those of you who may not be familiar with the relationship between these two games, Keiji Inafune is the creator of Mega Man, who left Capcom because Capcom wasn't doing anything with the Mega Man franchise, and he decided to start his own company. He started his own independent effort and put out Mighty Number 9, which a lot of people considered it to be a quote-unquote spiritual successor to Mega Man, especially given the fact that it looked like Capcom was not going to put out any more games. So much emphasis was placed on Mighty Number 9, kind of picking up where Mega Man left off to kind of continue the legacy. But a lot of people are upset. I'm not going to get into that. A lot of people were mad about Mighty Number 9. A lot of people got upset. Keiji Inafune kind of dropped the ball on a lot of the promises that he said he was going to do with that game. But that's a whole other video. But what I did want to talk about is the fact that it looks like Mega Man 11 might be Capcom's response to Keiji Inafune's Mighty Number 9, because they are designing Mega Man 11 using the same 2.5 dimensional artwork. So both games look very, very similar. If you put them side by side, they almost look like they could be the same game. And I'm just curious to know if Capcom is doing this on purpose to spite Keiji Inafune, because we all know that, you know, to use that kind of layout, that kind of rendering and layout, you know, that was cool. That was cool for an independent release, because we all know that Keiji Inafune was relying on the funding from fans and people from around the world to basically give him the money so that he could create this game. And so for it to be rendered in 2.5D artwork, you know, that was pretty creative. It was kind of outside of the box, and, you know, on a limited budget, we understand. But here we are, we're dealing with Capcom, which is an international an international corporation with millions and billions of dollars, but yet they're choosing to do Mega Man 11 in 2.5D artwork. So I find that really odd, really fishy. It's almost like Capcom is trying to basically sucker punch, do a bit of a sucker punch with Keiji Inafune and his little, Mighty Number 9 effort. And of course, Capcom owns the rights to Mega Man, so they can keep releasing Mega Man, into eternity if they wanted to. So, but it's funny that they should use the 2.5D artwork to render Mega Man 11. It kind of seems like they're trying to get back at Keiji, or do something to show that, hey, look, you want to do that, we can do that too, no problem. So, anyways, I just wanted to end it on that note and ask you guys what y'all think. Do y'all think that Capcom is trying to somehow tease or taunt Keiji Inafune and his effort to do Mighty Number 9? Do y'all see any comparisons? Are y'all able to see how both of these games actually do resemble each other? So I'll leave that as something that you guys can discuss, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for clicking. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment the video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Astronaut out.